Hey there, you're back. But this time it's different. You're not in some drafty medieval hovel or chasing pig through a mud-caked village. Nope. You've woken up in the land of Pharaoh's gods, and apparently aliens. Yes, aliens. Don't adjust your pillow just yet. This is real. Well, sleepy history real. Tonight, you're the star of a cosmic construction project 4,000 years in the making. So before we begin, let me know where you're listening from down in the comments and press that magic red button. Dim the lights. Snuggle in. Maybe wrap a scarf around your head like a makeshift turban, purely for the vibe, and let your mind sink into the sand like a forgotten relic. You're about to help build the Great Pyramid of Giza. Only, it turns out you're not the only one on the team. You wake up face down in sand. Your mouth is full of it. Your eyes sting. Your back is roasting. You sit up slowly, brushing grit from your hair and wondering two things. Why is the sun actively trying to kill you? Is that a pyramid under construction? You squint. Yes. Yes, it is. And right next to it is a... What is that? A levitating granite block? Oh no. Oh no. You've fallen into that part of YouTube. Except this time, you're living it. You stand up shakily, taking in your surroundings. There are workers, humans, hauling rope, shouting in ancient Egyptian, sweating through linen kilts. There are tools, sort of. Big copper chisels, yes, but also what looks suspiciously like a drone. No, not like a buzzing camera drone. More like a levitating obelisk polisher with laser arms. And then, the kicker. You turn around, and standing right behind you is a creature, 8 feet tall, translucent skin, big eyes, and it's holding a clipboard. Great, you've been hired. Before you can run, scream, or demand a lawyer, the alien, we'll call him Todd because why not, gestures to a glowing tablet in your hand. Wait, you're holding a tablet now? Since when? It's displaying a to-do list. Help haul sandstone blocks, coordinate human crew shifts, adjust graviton beam frequency, and at the bottom, don't talk about the aliens, you look up. Todd nods. You're officially part of ancient Egypt's worst-kept cosmic secret. You'd always suspected the pyramids were too perfect. Now you know humans did the grunt work, and the aliens, well, they brought the hover tech, also coffee. They brought weirdly decent alien coffee. You try to blend in. You copy the humans, lugging sandstone blocks, dodging camel droppings, and pretending you know how to say good morning in Middle Egyptian. Spoiler? You don't. You say something that makes a scribe drop his inkpot and scream. You may have just proposed to his goat, but hey, at least the aliens seem chill. Todd shows you how to phase levitate a block. It involves humming at a specific frequency and not thinking about ducks. Don't ask. You accidentally launch a brick into orbit. Todd applauds. Apparently that was the test. The sun beats down. The sand is relentless. Your shoes are... well, you don't have any. You fashion a turban from your hoodie sleeve and keep moving. Because you're not just surviving. You're contributing to one of history's greatest mysteries. Take that 10th grade world history teacher who said you were too easily distracted. You're beginning to understand the rhythm of the place. Hieroglyphs are everywhere. Carved, painted, glowing slightly. You swear one of them winks at you. There's a hierarchy among the workers, humans below, aliens above, but it's weirdly collaborative. One alien is teaching humans how to use a floating level. Another is painting what looks like a very smug cat in a space helmet. You're either hallucinating or history is way cooler than you thought. Here's the thing no one tells you about time travel. It's disorienting, yes, but it's also deeply humbling. You, a chronically online 21st century human, are now a speck of sand in a timeline you used to scroll past, and you're starting to think, maybe that's okay. Because here, among the limestone and the stars, you're finally doing something, even if it's just holding an alien's coffee. You've survived your first hour in ancient Egypt. No sunburn yet, no executions yet, and your best friend is a space lizard with a clipboard. Not bad, traveller, not bad at all. But things are about to get weirder, because that strange glow in the distance, that's not a mirage, that's the next chapter. You're 10 minutes into your new job, and already you've violated 5 galactic labour policies and 2 local religious customs. To be fair, nobody gave you a handbook. Todd just handed you a psychic orientation scroll and expected you to absorb it telepathically. You tried. You got a migraine and briefly remembered the face of your kindergarten teacher in hieroglyphics. Luckily, Alien HR shows up. Yes, that's a thing. She floats over in a shimmering silver cloak that changes colour every time she blinks, which is often. Her name is Zelx 4, but she insists you call her Diane, because Earthlings find hard consonants stressful. She hovers at eye level with you and says in perfect English, "Hi there, welcome to the GPEU, Galactic Pyramid Engineering Union. Let's talk onboarding. Welcome to your new interdimensional career. Today, you'll learn how to not be incinerated by a plasma beam, how to greet a Sethexan foreman without triggering mating season, where to find snacks, hint, it's not the glowing urns, and why you should never touch the golden cube behind the scaffolding." Diane gives you a holographic map of the site. You promptly drop it. It floats, because physics here is more of a suggestion. You follow her through a maze of unfinished pyramid corridors, half limestone, half light. Some rooms hum, some rooms breathe. One smells distinctly of lavender and hot circuitry. You pass training simulations, humans lifting blocks with exosuits, aliens teaching geometry with floating laser triangles, and one guy asleep on a sarcophagus. No one wakes him. He might be an intern. Suddenly the walls shift, literally. Hieroglyphs rearrange themselves as you walk. They form into a welcome message. "We're so glad you're here, carbon-based colleague." Charming. Also creepy. You're assigned to Block Hauling Division C, under the supervision of a grumpy alien named Merum. He communicates exclusively through a series of chest vibrations and sarcastic blinking. Diane translates. He says you walk like a jellyfish, but he likes your enthusiasm. Thanks, Merm. By now, you've accepted the impossible. You've stopped questioning the floating bricks. You're weirdly good at holding alien tools, and your skin's only slightly crisp. You're becoming useful. Lunchtime. Workers, human and otherwise, gather around a low table under a canopy of silk that flutters with electromagnetic shielding. On the menu, pickled figs, barley stew, something that looks like a glowing avocado but hums when you cut it. You nibble. You hallucinate briefly. Then it passes. Pretty good, honestly. You bond with your co-workers. A scribe named Henu teaches you basic hieroglyphs. You teach him how to make a peace sign. An alien with tentacles for arms shows you how to warp limestone using sonic resonance. You show him how to do a fist bump. It's mutual respect and mild cultural confusion. You overhear a heated conversation between two aliens about whether humans are adorable or dangerously impulsive. Someone mentions that the last time they brought humans into a construction project, they accidentally invented bureaucracy. You pretend not to hear. Afternoon hits. The sun slants across the sand in golden sheets. A nearby obelisk lights up. No one touches it. You feel peaceful. You're still trapped in time, yes. Still hopelessly disconnected from Wi-Fi, plumbing and modern sarcasm. But maybe, just maybe, this isn't the worst accidental internship. And then you hear it. A buzz, a low drone. You look up. A ship, large, metallic, gleaming, lowers silently behind the pyramid. And you realize this isn't just construction. This is a galactic project of historical manipulation. And you're in the middle of it. Congratulations. You survived alien HR. You made friends with a being whose face is 80% eyeball. And you may or may not have just seen a UFO land behind a pile of sacred sandstone. Stretch your legs. Breathe in. Because Chapter 3 is about to take you deeper into the temple of not asking questions. You're being led to a temple, not by choice. You made the mistake of asking what that hovering orb near the pyramid was for, the answer. To maintain narrative continuity, said Diane with a wink. Then she summoned two muscular priests and one small alien who smelled like cinnamon. And now you're here. Barefoot, dusty, and increasingly suspicious, you've been voluntold for a sacred rite. The temple is massive. Limestone and obsidian, carvings everywhere, gold that glows softly in the dark, like it's powered by smugness. At the center is a platform. On the platform, a scroll, a cube, and a bowl of something steaming. Diane floats in. She looks serious. This is the temple of not asking questions, she says. It exists to discourage curiosity. You raise your hand, she frowns. Look, in this timeline, asking questions is how you end up being chosen. Chosen for what? Unclear. Possibly eternal servitude. Possibly free snacks. The priest hands you the scroll. You unroll it. It reads, "Shh." That's it. Just 12 H's in a row. You're starting to get it. A ritual begins. There's chanting. There's incense. There's a guy banging on a bronze pan while humming at 432 Hz. An alien hands you a feather. You wave it. Nothing happens. Then the cube opens. Inside is a hologram of you, future you, wearing robes, floating, holding a galactic coffee mug with the words "World's First Hybrid Intern" on it. You are way too tired for this. The alien priest speaks. You are now part of the sacred pyramid plan. You will ask no questions. You will stack no blocks. You will balance the timeline with complete and utter confusion. You nod. It feels safer than disagreeing. After the ritual, Diane leans in. Sorry about the dramatics. It's mostly for the tourists. You look around. There are no tourists. You are the tourist. Turns out the temple of not asking questions is where they indoctrinate volunteers, which in this case means you get a badge, you get an alien robe, you get access to restricted areas. So, cool. You're now part of the inner crew. You're shown a room where pyramids are planned, and by planned, we mean holographically projected by star charts coded in musical frequency. There's also a whiteboard with bullet points in Comic Sans. Efficiency, check. Secrecy? Check. Airflow tunnel excuses? Meh. Someone has drawn a UFO with sunglasses. This is a workplace like no other. You try to keep your cool, but when an alien casually tosses you a key made of light and says, "Don't lose this," it unlocks the meta chamber. You drop it. It phases through the floor. Nobody blinks. By now, you've realized something crucial. This is not just about building pyramids. This is about something bigger. The pyramids are anchors. To what? That's for chapter 4. Right now you need water, shade, and to stop asking questions. You've made it through the initiation. You've seen the sacred scroll of shh. You've earned your robe. Not barred for a stranded time traveler. Get ready, because the secrets get deeper, and the next room has no corners. They lead you into a room, and something immediately feels wrong. Not dangerous, just off, like walking into a dream that forgot how walls work. The chamber is large, smooth, symmetrical, but not square. There are no corners, not a single angle in sight. The walls curve like sound waves, the ceiling tilts into itself, the floor hums when you stand still, and in the center, a floating stone the size of a minivan, spinning silently. Diane speaks softly beside you. This is the resonance core. It tunes the pyramid. You blink. Tunes it? Like a harp? She nods. Or like a brain. You approach. You can feel the vibration in your ribs, in your teeth, in your memory. It's like the room is singing directly into your skull. And for a moment, just a moment, you see things. A pyramid glowing under starlight covered in gold leaf. A sky littered with ships hovering in absolute silence. A circle of people, human and alien, chanting in unison, hands touching the stone. You stagger back. The stone stops spinning. Diane blinks. You're more sensitive than we thought. Now the others arrive. Todd, Merrim, the high priest with too many elbows, even Henu the scribe now carrying a glowing feather quill. They look at you like you've passed a test. Most humans vomit the first time, says Todd helpfully. Great. You're a chosen one. A chosen one who didn't vomit on the resonance core. Add that to your resume. Diane explains. The pyramid isn't just a tomb or a monument, it's a signal booster. It aligns earthly frequencies with stellar ones, opening portals, bending time, and maybe tuning the planet for better vibes. Like a planetary tuning fork, she says, or a really overbuilt DJ booth. You sit. Your brain is still catching up. All those conspiracy documentaries, the ones your uncle used to send you at 2 a.m, they were on to something. Aliens were involved, just not in the way anyone expected. It wasn't about control, it was about collaboration, vibes, interstellar, spiritual, slightly bureaucratic. The scribe speaks. The ancients believed sound could shape stone. He hums. The stone shifts, subtly. You hum too. It wobbles like it's listening. You feel absurd, then powerful, then absurd again. Welcome to pyramid engineering. Here, in a cornerless room beneath a triangle of cosmic resonance, you understand something. The ancients weren't primitive. They were plugged in. They built tools of time, of memory, of music. And now, you, hoodie-wearing, slightly sunburned, deeply confused you, are part of that song. The room dims, everyone leaves, except you and the spinning stone. It purrs gently. You close your eyes, and for a moment, you feel tuned in. You've survived corners that don't exist, geometry that whispers, and a literal brain rock. But don't get comfortable. Because Chapter 5, it's your first night shift. And trust me, things get strange after dark. The desert at night is quiet. Too quiet. You expected chirping, maybe a camel snoring nearby. Instead, you get the gentle thrum of vibrating limestone and something that sounds suspiciously like alien Wi-Fi. You're on the night shift now. Voluntold again, of course. Apparently humans make excellent nocturnal vibe monitors because our brains are just chaotic enough to stabilize the grid. You take that as a compliment. Probably. They assign you to the Stargate floor. Don't panic. It's not like the movie. It's just a circular platform deep in the base of the pyramid that occasionally opens gateways to other star systems. No big deal. Your job, to sit in the middle, cross-legged, holding a crystal rod. That's it. Every so often a tone chimes. You're supposed to focus your internal resonance and not fall asleep while seated on a temporal ripple. So far you're failing at both. You hum. The rod pulses. A door opens, not physically, but in your mind. You see a jungle planet with purple trees and floating turtles. A room full of cats, standing upright, judging you. A mirror version of Earth. But everyone's wearing tunics and no one invented email. Honestly, that one looks kinda nice. Behind you, the aliens are murmuring. One scribbles notes with a glowing stylus. Another is rearranging crystals into a crop circle Sudoku. You're just trying not to drool on the Stargate. Then something changes. The platform glows, brighter than before. The tone deepens. Portal opens, this time visibly. Inside, darkness, and two eyes, glowing, watching. You freeze. Todd appears beside you, calm as ever. Ignore that. It's just the inspection drone from Sector 7B. The eyes blink, wave. You wave back, unsure. The portal closes with a pop, so to recap, you're a part-time pyramid tech. You sit on interdimensional flooring. You've just waved at something from another galaxy, and your hoodie still smells like ancient stew. Perfect. You shift position, aching slightly. The floor vibrates rhythmically. It's hypnotic. The aliens begin to chant softly, tuning the space. It's musical, mathematical, and soothing. You're not sure if you're witnessing ancient magic, alien physics, or a very intense spa day. Either way, your body relaxes, your mind floats. Time bends, and for a heartbeat, you feel home. But just before you drift off, the rod pulses again. It flashes red. A siren, quiet, respectful, but insistent. Diane appears, frowning. Someone opened the wrong gate. You look around. Everyone's confused, except for Miriam, who is snacking calmly on a glowing fruit. Diane sighs. It's fine. We'll fix it. Just don't touch anything else. You nod. Then immediately lean too far to the left and knock over a pyramid-shaped transmitter. The portal flickers. A goat walks through it. Silence. You've just abducted a goat. In reverse. Welcome to the night shift. Diane pinches the bridge of her nose. The goat bleats. Someone applauds. And your status as time traveler dimensional intern is officially solidified. You've made it through one full shift on the Stargate floor. No time loops. Minimal livestock incidents. And you still have all your atoms. That's a win. Now rest your legs, traveler. Because Chapter 6 takes you outside the pyramid into something far stranger. The next morning starts with a warning. You've barely chewed through your breakfast fig when Diane zips in looking unusually flustered. There's a sandstorm coming, she says, and Bastet is not pleased. You blink. Bastet? You mean the ancient Egyptian cat goddess? She nods. Yes, and she's very vocal before dust events. Cue the briefing. The entire pyramid crew, humans, aliens, scribes, even the goat, assembles in a semicircle outside the main construction site. The wind kicks up. Sand tickles your eyes. Todd holds a parasol for no reason. A small altar has been set up. On it, milk, incense, a gold statue of a very smug-looking cat, and beside it, a real cat, jet black, one eye, more powerful than your Wi-Fi router. The cat judges you immediately. It blinks, turns away. Somewhere in the distance, thunder rumbles. Diane hands you a scroll titled Proper Behavior During Feline Omens. You skim it. Key takeaways: don't make eye contact. Don't disrespect Whiskers. Never, ever say, "Who's a good kitty?" in the sacred courtyard. A high priest chants. The wind picks up. You feel the sandstorm brewing like a latte of chaos. But instead of seeking shelter, the aliens activate a dome. A soft hum, and suddenly a transparent energy shield settles over the area like a snow globe. Sand whips outside it. Inside? Calm. Even the cat looks impressed. We used to do this with linen tents, Henry mutters. Now it's just force fields. You nod. Progress. But then, a glitch. The shield flickers. A swirl of sand pushes through, and with it, something shimmering. Not a person, not a creature, just a shimmer. You're not the only one who notices. The cat growls. The alien tech's tense. Diane says 2 words. Dimensional echo. Apparently sandstorms thin the veil. Other timelines leak in. That shimmer? Could be a memory. Could be another you. Could be a leftover from when the gods walked the earth. You choose not to ask. You've learned your lesson. The shimmer vanishes. The sandstorm passes in record time. Someone claps. The cat yawns. And just like that, the storm briefing is over. You survived your first supernatural weather event. You faced the judgment of a literal cat goddess. And you did not get turned into a scarab beetle. All wins, honestly. A swirl of sand pushes through, and with it, something shimmering. Not a person, not a creature, just a shimmer. You're not the only one who notices. The cat growls. The alien tech's tense. Diane says 2 words. Dimensional echo. Apparently sandstorms thin the veil. Other timelines leak in. That shimmer? Could be a memory. Could be another you. Could be a leftover from when the gods walked the earth. You choose not to ask. You've learned your lesson. The shimmer vanishes. The sandstorm passes in record time. Someone claps. The cat yawns. And just like that, the storm briefing is over. You survived your first supernatural weather event. You faced the judgment of a literal cat goddess. And you did not get turned into a scarab beetle. All wins, honestly. Back inside the pyramid, you're handed a small pyramid-shaped badge. Storm clearance level granted, says Todd. You're now eligible for surface-level missions. Which sounds a lot like, go fetch stuff from the scorching sand. Still, you're moving up. You take a moment to breathe, to reflect. This place, these beings, they operate on ancient wisdom and space-age tech, all while trusting a chronically confused time traveler with clearance badges and crystal rods. And somehow, you don't feel out of place anymore. You're not just stuck in time. You're anchored here now, a puzzle piece wedged into the corner of history. Or at least, a very dusty intern with good vibes. Get ready. Because the next chapter takes you to the vault of forgotten futures. And the things inside? Wow. You're standing in front of a door, a big one. The kind of door that shouldn't exist in 2600 BCE unless aliens, time travel, or extremely overachieving Masons were involved. Spoiler, it's all three. Diane appears beside you with a clipboard that floats. She's glowing slightly, either from excitement or because the vault emits background radiation in a friendly frequency range. She clears her throat. Welcome to the Vault of Forgotten Futures. Contents include misplaced inventions, suppressed ideas, and accidentally leaked technologies. You blink. Like, what kind of technologies? Oh, you know, she says. The usual. Microwaves, contact lenses, ancient Roombas. She's not joking. The stone door opens with a hiss. Inside, a massive chamber stacked floor to ceiling with stuff. Glowing boxes, scrolls wrapped in chains, tools made of light and regret, and in the center, a floating platform shaped like a Mobius strip. A bored-looking alien in robes waves you in. Watch your step, he says. The floor occasionally forgets gravity. Great. You explore carefully. There's a tablet, literal and digital, that runs Windows 7. A pyramid-shaped record player that speaks Aramaic. A mirror that shows future versions of yourself. One with a hoverboard, one wearing Crocs. Terrifying. Diane explains that the vault is where they keep ideas that were accidentally transmitted through time. Apparently, humans sometimes receive creative downloads meant for the year 4000 and just run with them too early. It happens, Diane shrugs. We once gave the Greeks indoor plumbing by accident. Took 2 millennia to circle back. Then you see it. A small box, metal, buzzing faintly. Label, personal timeline relay, do not activate unless trapped in another era. You stare at it. Diane sighs. Of course you found that. It's the device, the thing that could send you home, or fry your brain, or both. For a moment you don't hear anything else, just your heartbeat, and the low hum of forgotten futures pulsing through the air. You're holding your way out. Maybe. Todd appears behind you, sipping what looks like glowing coffee. Neat, huh? I wouldn't push the button, though, you raise an eyebrow. Not unless the goats start levitating again. Fair. You pocket the box, just in case. It's warm, like it knows it's been found. The vault continues to murmur. You walk past, a book titled Quantum Haiku for Beginners, a helmet that projects last year's dreams, a stack of IKEA furniture with prehistoric instructions, pictographs plus alien emojis. This is the archive of what could have been, and maybe still could be. You don't know if you'll get home, but you know you've just stumbled across the cosmic equivalent of a garage sale, run by gods. And somehow, you feel a little less lost. Diane calls out, "Lunch break." You turn one last time to look at the relay box in your hand. This isn't over. You've been summoned, not by scroll, not by carrier pigeon, but by a telepathic post-it note that floated through your pyramid dorm and stuck to your forehead. It said, "Meeting, top tier, no sandals, bring questions." You brought snacks instead. That'll do. You're led up a narrow ramp to the top chamber, which you didn't know existed until just now. At the summit, a round table, literal and metaphorical. Seated at it are 2 aliens in business robes, a grumpy human scribe with ink all over his hands, Diane, as usual, glowing slightly, and a camel. Nobody addresses the camel. There's a scroll in the center. On it, a schematic of the pyramid, with annotations. You squint. The notes are written in Latin, cuneiform, modern cursive. and what might be Comic Sans in starlight. This is the Pyramid Conspiracy meeting, Diane begins. So, turns out the Great Pyramid is not just a power node / Stargate / music box. You nod, obviously. It's also an intergalactic antenna and a failsafe. She gestures to the schematic. At its heart, a chamber labelled Pulse Core. This chamber, if activated, could signal help from another galaxy, or reset Earth's timeline back 6,000 years. You choke on your dried fig. The others discuss it like it's a mild design flaw. Maybe we shouldn't build that part, one alien says, but it's traditional, says another. The scribe chimes in. I already carved the hieroglyphs. We're past revisions. The camel snorts. You realize you're attending the cosmic version of a corporate brainstorm, but instead of deciding between fonts and paperweights, it's about whether to restart civilization. You raise your hand. Everyone ignores you, except Diane. Don't worry, she says. We disabled the failsafe. Mostly. You do not find that comforting. A tray of dimensional snacks is passed around. You grab a glowing seed pod that tastes like hot chocolate and orange zest, a cube that dissolves into the memory of your childhood dog, something labelled definitely not a shrimp. You pass on that one. Eventually the discussion shifts. They're talking about you. We could use them in the next project, says one alien. They're weirdly adaptable. Plus no allergies, says another. You clear your throat. I'd rather go home. They all nod, sympathetically, which means absolutely nothing is happening anytime soon. Diane hands you a folder. Inside, an alien passport. Your photo is mid-sneeze. A clearance badge shaped like a scarab, and a napkin that says Level 2 Access Vault Stargate Cat Temple. Congratulations. You're not just a stranded time traveler anymore. You're a contracted participant in a galactic infrastructure rollout, and you don't even get paid. Unless you count interdimensional grapes and an existential crisis as compensation. The meeting ends. Everyone vanishes like smoke, like bureaucracy. You're left alone in the top chamber with a full head and an empty snack pouch. Outside, the pyramid glows slightly. Inside, you wonder what Level 3 is like. You've had it. You've played along, eaten the snacks, attended the glowing PowerPoint meetings, and even bonded with the suspicious goat. But today, you're done. It's escape attempt number 1, and you're determined. You have a plan. You have a stolen artifact. You have very little understanding of ancient Egyptian theology. Perfect. The plan is simple. Sneak into the relic chamber, borrow the ceremonial crook of power, use it to activate a dormant Stargate node, and ride that cosmic wave straight back to 2025. Or wherever your favourite pizza place still exists. You sneak in, if sneak means tiptoeing while your sandals squelch and the crook buzzes like an angry wasp. This thing wasn't built for subtlety. It's taller than you, coated in gold and humming with what can only be described as divine disapproval. You drag it to the Stargate chamber, press the crook to the node, it sizzles, the lights flicker, and then the sky opens. A giant circular gate activates, sparkling, ancient, terrifying. You've done it. Until he arrives. Ra. Yes, that Ra. Sun god, falcon head, radiant tan, zero tolerance for nonsense. He steps through the shimmering light looking like he just stepped out of a hieroglyphic fashion ad. Behind him, a solar chariot, 2 flaming hawks, and a very stern expression. Ra looks at you. then at the crook, then at the smoking gate panel you may have accidentally short-circuited. He squints. Who are you? Your brain breaks slightly. You blurt, intern, time-trapped, accidentally helpful. He tilts his head. You tried to activate my divine gate without proper invocation. You nod, holding out the crook like a very expensive apology. He sighs and claps his hands once. The gate shuts down with a pop. The crook melts slightly. Your self-esteem evaporates. Ra turns. Return this to the temple. Tell Bastet she owes me lunch. Then he vanishes into sunlight, like a celestial mic drop. Diane appears 5 seconds later, arms crossed. So, how'd that go? You don't answer. Just hand her the crook, now bending like a pool noodle, and shuffle away in defeat. Escape attempt. Lusterwein. Bold. Ambitious. Ended with divine intervention and mild property damage. On the bright side, Ra didn't smite you, so that's progress. Later that night, Todd pats you on the back. Hey, at least now you've got street cred. The goat nods. You sit beneath a carved wall watching the stars, realizing something. You might be stuck, but you're not giving up. And in the morning, you'll try again. Just maybe without involving the literal sun god next time. It's the final alignment, whatever that means. All you know is that everyone, human, alien, god, goat, is buzzing with urgency. The pyramid is awake. The walls hum. The sand glows. Even the cats are holding their breath. Diane approaches you, cloak swirling like she's been watching too much sci-fi. You're the only one who can calibrate the last sequence. You blink. Why you? You're from the future. Your brain's wired differently. The frequencies will sync. You stare, then glance at Todd. He shrugs. She means you overthink things. That's useful now. Great. You're rushed into the central core, a chamber filled with beams of light, rotating discs and what looks suspiciously like a DJ booth made of quartz and regret. The final alignment is exactly what it sounds like. All the pyramids, all the stars, all the tones in sync. If you mess it up, time folds in on itself or just resets you to a wet Neolithic Wednesday. You place your hands on the console, everything vibrates. Diane whispers, just think like yourself. So you do. You imagine your favourite hoodie, your dog back home, the first Wi-Fi signal you ever connected to, the emotional roller coaster of watching people put pineapple on pizza. And somehow, it works. The beams lock, the tones harmonise, the pyramid pulses like a cosmic speaker, the alignment completes. Outside, the sky shifts. Stars swirl into place. A ripple of energy spreads across the earth. Somewhere, a farmer in 2025 suddenly gets a craving for figs and doesn't know why. You did it. You synced an ancient alien megastructure with the literal cosmos. By overthinking and channeling snack cravings, you are officially an accidental hero. The portal opens, not the Ra one, a new one, subtle, gentle, humming with familiarity. Diane smiles. That's yours, one-way trip. Probably, maybe. You hesitate because somehow this place became yours too. The pyramid, the people, the interdimensional goat. But then again, your world has coffee and memes and Netflix. You step forward, one last glance back. Todd salutes. The goat winks. Bastet yawns. You walk through. The portal closes. Silence. Then, you came looking for a way out. You found history, mystery, divine sarcasm, and a few things that absolutely defy science. You helped build the pyramids. You vibed with the gods. You survived Todd's cooking. You were part of something ancient, weird, and beautifully illogical. And somewhere out there, a pyramid still hums in your frequency. Welcome home, traveller, but don't unpack just yet, because next time you're waking up in a Viking longhouse and the mead, it bites back. You wake up on your couch, your actual modern, suspiciously crumb-covered couch. There's a half-eaten bag of chips next to you, a paused episode of some vaguely historical documentary playing quietly, and the distinct sense that you just had the weirdest nap of your life. You sit up slowly, check your phone, no texts, except one from a contact you don't remember adding. You aligned perfectly, nice work. You blink, then check your laundry. Yup, still haven't folded it. Definitely home. And yet, there's sand in your shoes. Your hoodie smells faintly like incense and ancient stew. And in your pocket, a small scarab-shaped badge that wasn't there before. So, maybe it was a dream, or a glitch, or maybe you really did spend 24 very weird, slightly divine hours in ancient Egypt helping aliens build the pyramids. Who's to say? You stand up, stretch, and look out the window. Everything looks the same, but feels different, like the world's just a little more weird now, like history might be watching you, or winking at you, or waiting. You head to the kitchen, open the fridge. Inside, a glowing purple seed pod. It smells like hot chocolate and orange zest. You smile. Maybe you're home. Maybe you never left. Or maybe history isn't as distant as we think. And time has a strange sense of humour. So sleep well, time traveller. Rest up, because next time you'll wake up somewhere even stranger.